This podcast is certified fresh. Freshmediaworks.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Marketing Drive. I'm Chris Daly, and this is the show where I use my commute time to talk about one actionable marketing idea. One tip, one trick, one tidbit that will help you get more customers, make more money, be more successful. Today I want to talk about podcast length. Yes, I'm recording this after leaving a meeting with a podcasting customer where we're planning out the show. We're looking at things like the duration or length of an episode. We're looking at the frequency, and we had a pretty good conversation about it, and I thought I would expound on that a little bit here. So you've got shows like Joe Rogan, right? His are 3 hours, 2 to 4 hours. He's got long shows. But he also has Elon Musk. He has Donald Trump. He has some of the most famous names in the world on his show. So naturally, you can go very long on those because if you're a fan of Elon Musk, if you're a fan of one of these famous people, you don't care how long they talk, right? You want to hear them. If he's interviewing Brad Pitt and you just absolutely love everything about Brad Pitt, then you're going to listen to the whole thing, regardless of where the conversation rounds. So it can have peaks and valleys. It can focus. It can go off on weird tangents. It doesn't matter. But if that's not your show, that won't work. If you're doing a mommy cast and you talk for 3 hours, it's hard to stick to a subject. It becomes rambling after a while. And yes, people who listen to mommy cast love that interaction. They love that banter. But they also kind of want a subject matter. So you kind of have to narrow that down, and you can't do 3 hours on something like that. If you're a true crime podcaster, you should have a point. You should have an intro, a storyline, a conclusion. You should have it tell a story. And if it is going to be 3 hours, I will tell you that's doable. But I would break that into 6 episodes, something like that, just because of the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is typical listening time and people's attention span, right? What we have found, and now I've been doing this over 20 years, August was the 20-year mark since the invention of podcasting, and what we have found, looking at all these shows, thousands of shows, tens of thousands of episodes, and multiple millions of downloads, we learned some very cool things. One, these shows that are the most successful are usually 15, 25, 35 minutes tops. And why is that? Well, the most important being that's a typical commute or a typical time somebody went for a bike ride or a typical time that somebody will spend walking the dog or outside gardening or something like that. It fits in the average person's schedule. And that's one of the big benefits of podcasting is it is time shifted, which unlike must-see TV from back in the day where you had to tune in Thursdays at 7 p.m., because it is time shifted, you can listen to a podcast whenever you want and wherever you want. So regardless, if I have a show that comes out Tuesday mornings, I can listen to it Wednesday afternoons when I'm at the gym. I can listen to it Tuesday evening on the way back from work, whatever it is. I can get into my system, my routine, and that time frame, 15, 25, 35 minutes, fits the best for most people and has historically been the best for growing your listenership. Yes, if you are Joe Rogan and you have a 3-hour show, Some people may listen to the whole thing. Very few will listen to it in one sitting because nobody has that amount of time. They may take a particular episode they like and they'll listen to it over the course of 6 or 7 sittings. But if you have a daily show, then they're 6 or 7 episodes behind now. So you end up not getting as many downloads. So that's the sweet spot right there as far as duration of show. Stick to that as a start. And as you develop your show, as your listeners give you feedback, you'll learn. People will tell you, especially if you ask them, survey them, tell them you need the feedback. They will tell you, well, yeah, this one runs a little long, so I rarely listen to the whole thing. Or it is so short, I wish it'd go a little bit longer. But you will learn that over time, and you'll see a lot of podcasts will start out with one duration, and after some feedback, it ends up at a duration that works better for their audience. And then, as a quick aside, as far as frequency, the one that works the best for building an audience is weekly. And try to be consistent. Stick to the same release day at the very least. Release day and time if you can, but the same release day anyway. So there you have it. Hopefully that is useful. If you have any feedback on your podcast length, things you've learned from your customers, or just have some questions about podcasting, don't hesitate to reach out. And I will mention this. I know I don't need to by now. If you've been listening for a while, you know that right now podcasting is the gold standard in terms of not only ways to reach people, but a way to reach people with the most impact compared to the cost of production and the cost in terms of your investment of time. So until next time, let me know what your podcasts are and try to keep the duration around that time, and it will grow. Oh, and of course, keep it real.
You've been listening to The Marketing Drive with Chris Daly. To learn more about how Chris can help your company get more customers, call 713-269-4620 or visit us on the web at freshmediaworks.com.